Welcome back to the dish that keeps on giving.
Yes, those are my teeth. Hello.
Hello, teeth.
How are you,
Welcome to the
girl?
party.
What is this? Is this a caftan? What is happening?
It's a sort of like a Moroccan muumuu. I'm serving you Adina Monsoon realness tonight from
Love
Absolutely
it.
Fabulous.
Love it. Love it. Yes.
So I have a matching headscarf and her sort of like frizzy hair, but in lavender because I'm doing it my way.
I think as you should.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love those earrings.
Oh, you little mod. Mm-hmm.
Love those. They really pull the look, though. I really like that.
Thank you. I think they sort of tie together with these circular motifs.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Excellent. Well, Brooke, what are you wearing?
I'm so glad you asked, Eileen.
I'm so glad you asked.
Call me by your name, girl.
I am wearing a crop top that Eileen and I both bought at H&M.
Twinning.
And Lululemon pants. And I'm wearing the wrong color bra for this crop top because that is the way I live my life.
One might argue the right color because you're coordinating.
Girl!
You're coordinating with like the secondary color, and it gives just a little hint of sensuality.
A huge substantial, which is always what I'm known for.
Mm-hmm.
How are you, girl? I am so excited to be with you this fucking weekend in Columbus.
This weekend is so very exciting, and I'm sure you all are sick of hearing about it by now, but you've got 2 chances to see us in Columbus. Brooke is going to be in town, which I am so very excited for. So, Friday night we're going to be at District West for Covered Dish Traffic Jam Edition. So we'll bring the glow sticks, don't you worry about that. It's going to be just like the Wall Street traffic jams of old. We're going to have games, comedy, burlesque, drag. It's going to be lit. And then on Saturday, we're having a benefit for the Trans-Ohio Name Change Fund at the Vanderelli Room. It's called That's Not My Name.
Also fun.
Cute.
I know one of them sounds more fun than the other, but they're just 2 very different kinds of fun. And one, we are giving money straight to performers.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, we're giving money to trans people. And here's the ironic part. A lot of the performers are trans at both shows. So if you think about it, both of them are direct grants/funds to queer, trans, non-binary folks.
What we're saying
is how you want them to get the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean...
Look at that lawyer spin.
Look at that Venn diagram we have in our community. So if you're giving to one, you're giving to the other, is what we're trying to say. So on Saturday night, we've got more Dragon Burlesque, and we've got raffle prizes. We've got art at the Vanderelli Room. We
have raffles,
alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. We've got it all.
Beverages. I'm picking up wine. Text me what you want, girl. Just text me. I don't know. Pick up a little sangria. So, anyways, I am loving this look tonight, girl. Tell me what we are dishing on tonight.
Okay, so I wanted to look a little show-like, So I did a Persian eye, and it looked very dramatic and very show-like. Sorry, that's my best in show Jennifer Coolidge impression.
That was very good. It was singing Jennifer Coolidge. Yes.
Thank you.
We both like soup and the outdoors.
We still find things to not talk about. We could talk or not talk for hours.
The best scene.
So, girl, I wanted to look show-like because we're talking about being on the road. No, not the book by Jack Kerouac. We are talking about performing on the road. So, I mean, listen, how much time you got? Because Brooke and I were like, oh, let's talk about horror stories on the road. And we realized this might need to be like a multi-part episode.
I was about to say, we didn't put part 1 in there, but we should have put part 1.
Yeah.
This could be a reoccurring serial within Covered Dish. Like, it is so much. There's so much shit that goes wrong all of the time.
Look at me.
But we would be...
I was so traumatized that I gave it all up, and now I do pottery, judging from this outfit. Right?
And you definitely work as an adjunct professor at a community college, and they don't pay you.
Yeah. Trelawney. It's like Professor Trelawney.
Yes.
And Adina Munson.
She doesn't know how to use email.
No.
She doesn't use email.
No, she uses crystal spheres.
Which is also a great drag name.
Oh, crystal spheres. I love that.
That would be very good. Very ethereal.
She
Maybe if you
like
ever
a Windows,
do like...
Yeah, she dresses like a Windows 95 screensaver. Crystal spheres.
Trans.
Trans.
So,
The best
dear
tagline.
viewers, one time Eileen and I were in a fit of something, you know how we do.
We were going through it.
And Eileen was like, well, I'm just trans. But the way she said, she kind of like whispered the trans, just, well, I'm just trans. And then we were like, what if we came up with like a really powerful perfume that we sold, and it was just
Trans. By Estee Lauder.
Trans. Yes.
The
So that is
sillage.
the inside joke.
Yeah. The sillage
You
is
are
just
gonna-
unreal. You can smell it from 3 conference rooms away.
Trans. So in that, let's talk about, okay, so there's so many directions we can go. But I think I want to do weirdest place you've changed or gotten ready.
Oh, okay. All right. Easy. Actual fire
Easy?
escape. Yeah. Actual fire escape outside.
Oh, yes, that is easy for you.
Yes, that one is easy for me because because of what I went through. No, in 2014, I was in Chicago and we were getting ready to do Queer Apocalypse, which is an amazing event that no longer exists. But the night before Queer Apocalypse, which was in like an actual theater with a green room and a dressing room, like all the amenities, running water, a mirror, you know what I mean? Like the things performers only dream of. And if you don't get the joke, it's that we usually have to change in shitholes. So anyway, that's fine. So we went to this place the night before and it was just like sort of a bar with no stage. That's the vibe we're serving, right? So picture kind of like Two Truths, but not nice. So Two Truths is the setup, but like not nice. And there's not even a bathroom to change in because the bathrooms are not great. And so usually when if this were me now, I would have been like, oh, cool. Where's your office? Like, we're going to change it in the office,
Right.
you know?
There's a spot for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we won't mess stuff up, but we just need a little bit of space. We need some light and we just need to feel secure. Right. So let me think about what the opposite of all those things would be. They were like, oh, follow me. Here's your dressing area. Took us out to the patio. Great start. Then we take a right turn and go up a set of metal stairs. And then we end on the landing that is between the 2 back doors of the apartments, like the apartment building next door. So we're literally changing on a metal landing outside next to 2 apartments' back doors. And so...
And what temperature is it outside?
Oh my God, like 40. It's like 40 degrees outside with scattered showers. I'm not kidding.
Oh my God.
It was the worst. And then at one point, so we're changing, and of course we're like outside, and there on the other side there's like a courtyard with some trees, so it's not like it's just like street traffic happening, right? Like they can't just, you don't want to give it all away. But at one point we're changing costumes, and I'm like gluing my pasties and I'm putting them on, and a woman slowly approaches us from like opens one of the doors to the back of the apartment and is like, hi, the bar told us you were gonna be here. Just wanted to know if anyone wanted like some water or like a glass of lemonade or anything. And I was just like, I'm fine, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, please go. So that was probably it. That was probably the one. That's gonna be hard to beat.
No, you know what? Here's the thing. That's the thing about burlesque is I have to say that question is specifically around burlesque because comedians don't necessarily change.
Right.
But I will say some of my biggest horror stories in backstages have been with burlesque dancers because bars like try to set up random shit for them. Scully's like just put us upstairs, like in a corner.
Right.
And I was like,
curtained off area. Yeah.
Let's see what is happening.
Yeah. Have you
With
been?
No lights.
You've been at AWOL, right? Where they put you outside in the smoking area.
Oh my God! Yes, with the tarp.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yep.
that's great.
Put you in a smoking area, pipe and drape, and actually, you know what? Much better than the fire escape.
I mean, well, right. Little pipe and drape, we stand. Pipe and drape.
Pipe and drape? I didn't know you were going to be here.
In this economy. Oh, so Penny loves saying that in Penny voice. In this economy, guys.
This economy. That was a little older than I meant it to be.
I liked it. I like that Penny was 6.
In this economy.
She's like 80 and drunk, which is her energy.
You're
like,
This wig said that.
The
Exactly.
So, but I will say I have like horror green room stories, right? Like we all have like, but I can't be like, like I got sexually harassed in a green room. So that's like 98% of the time. That's just life. But
right,
I
you're
will
like,
say,
oh, must be Thursday.
oh,
It's that time already.
On the clock already. But I will say the most hilarious thing is I was opening for a very famous person at a venue in Columbus, big space, like 400, 500 capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And I got kicked out of the green room so she could have harnessed her chi, white woman. I just want to point that out. I think it's important to the story. And I don't like to call out my people unless it's absolutely necessary. So
it's always necessary.
It's always necessary.
Yeah. It's always necessary.
No, not trans. She was not.
No.
So, cis white woman, and I went to the bar and I was like, so-and-so kicked me out. She's harnessing her chi.
Please tell me the verb was harness. Please tell me she said,
it was
my God.
Harnessing her chi. And here's the thing.
She needed the whole green room for that?
The whole green, and it was a big green room. She could have gone in a corner. She could have, or she could have told me, I don't know if I was talking, I don't think I was talking to her. I think I was writing my set to shut the fuck up.
She could have done her stuff at home. You know what I mean? Like,
or in her hotel, or anywhere else. It was so funny.
That is the most. That is the most.
But I was young, and I was still like, oh, okay.
You're like, oh, of course. I also like to harness my chi before I go on stage. I'm like,
so,
yeah.
I like to actually harass my chi. Just give it a tap on the tush. Just give him a little chip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just harness my chi.
Shape up chi. I mean, my chi is like an MFA fighter, so like MMA. Sorry, not MFA. I'm thinking of multi-factor. I'm thinking of multi-factor authentication.
Masters in fine arts.
Yeah, yeah, that too.
I love that MFA fighter.
Yeah. So anyway, girl.
No, but that's my point. Is I will say just opening for celebrities. It's funny because the A-list celebrities are amazing. But as you go down the list,
yeah,
when you're opening for like the F and G list, they are ruthless because I think they're just still trying to climb and get to that next level and be like, no, I deserve this. And it's girl,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like a superstar was here and didn't demand this.
Oh, that reminds me of a story. But first of all, like, yeah, the in burlesque, it definitely happens. Like the riders of some of the like, I don't want to call anyone out by name, but the riders of some national performers are like, I want Puffs brand face tissues only and like blue M&Ms. You know what I mean? Only blue M&Ms. And I know that there is this, I forget which band did this originally. They put the blue M&Ms in the riders so that they would do it and then
right, they'd read it. Yeah.
And then when you get to the dressing, we're like, oh, they actually cared about me or they actually like took the time to read it. And I'm like, girl, I need no blue M&Ms. I just need you to like pick me up when you said you're going to pick me up. Cover my travel if possible. You know what I mean? Like for me, it's very simple, but everyone's got a different style. So the story was, picture it. The year is 2012, and I'm at the Windy City Burlesque Fest, and we go backstage, and it's my very first festival. I'm new.
Oh, girl, what a dewy ingenue you were. Your hair is just like a cradle. Like,
yeah. Of course, I'm so new that I didn't even know that, like, for the... Please keep doing that.
You're just looking around for deer. Deer.
Yeah. I'm Maria von Trapp looking for the children. Like, I just lost them in Austria, you know?
You mean to tell me my children have been running around the countryside in old drapes? Keep going.
These old drapes. Yes, and having a marvelous time. These do look like old drapes, girl. I love it. So we go in, and like I say that because you know I feel like I'm in the way 100% of the time because I'm brand new.
Just all the time.
Yeah. First festival, I wasn't even there for a solo. I was there for a group number with the Velvet Hearts.
Oh baby.
And we run into a very well-known national performer in the dressing room. She is at the end of the mirrors talking to no one, and she has a magnum bottle of champagne. And she is sharing with no one. So she's there with her dresser, her magnum bottle of champagne, talking to no one, sharing with no one. And girl, I was like, work, diva. That is some, like... I had no choice but to stand. It was fabulous. I was like, oh my God. Did I introduce myself to her? Absolutely not. But I was
well, what are you supposed to do? I mean, she's not open to it. I think like,
yeah.
But that's the thing is like, what a miss on her part, to be honest. And I don't know her gender actually. So what a miss on their part. Like,
it was her.
What a miss to not meet people and to, you know what I mean? And like, I like heard this quote today and I really loved it. And it was around like women supporting women. And it was like, we don't have to pull the ladder up behind us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I know that that's relevant in all fields, but especially burlesque. Like, I just feel like it's such a tough industry. It's such a big buy-in. I mean, the money for the costumes, all the shit, like, why not help the new ones? Like, why the heck not? Because it's going to die if not. Or you're only going to have like the trust fund kids who have the money and the time. You're not going to have the real stories.
Completely.
I mean, the most beautiful burlesque I've seen from people like you, from people like Pandora Fox, they're just, it's meaningful. There's power behind it. There's strife and pain and glory and triumph in surviving and thriving.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
No, girl, I love.
Comedy's just jokes. We just do the
comedy's just jokes. No, that's not true. I've definitely, like, the comedians that I really get into are showing vulnerability in a way that, like, they're giving vulnerability to the audience, and like it feels more like a discussion with the audience than it does just like, I'm gonna sit here and tell you jokes and you're just gonna be on the receiving end of it. When it feels like a true exchange and you're getting a glimpse into someone's like truth and humanity, that's great. Chef's kiss.
Well, yeah, I'm like, I think that's the thing about it is like the road is what you make of it. Like oh my God. So my travel buddy, who you can see Saturday night, if that's not my name, a benefit for the Trans Micro Grant Fund.
Absolutely.
My road buddy is former guest host on The Dish, Angie Healy, and I love her.
Mm-hmm.
And we would be on the road together a lot. And every partner I had in the years I was on the road with Angie Healy, would get jealous. And we're both queer. And she kind of presents like, just because she has short hair, people think she's like super masked. And I'm like, have you talked to her? Like, first of all, she's just a queer person. You don't need to put her in a category.
Yeah.
But I think
makeup. People get confused about the Boy George fashion.
Yes.
I think that's what throws people. Yeah, I think that's what throws people off. But yeah, anyway.
But like they see me long hair and her short hair. And we've been at shows. We were at an amazing show.
Yeah.
And the comedians in the parking lot go, they didn't say, oh, are you the touring comedian? They go, are you guys dating? We're like, what the fuck? We just got, you know what I mean? So it was funny because I was like, I spent a lot of time with Angie, especially when we were touring together and we'd be on the road a lot. And I'm like, you know what's so crazy about that is like, I'm sure my partners like were jealous of the time I was spending with Angie. You know what I mean? But when they get like jealous, I was like, do you know what we do in our hotel rooms? We check for bed bugs.
Right.
We get like a 6-pack of Corona from the gas station that we don't finish.
Yeah.
And we have 2 beers on our separate beds and like talk about comedy. It is terrible. You would hate it.
I don't know what people think. I mean, it's the same thing with burlesque performers. I think that they just think that we have like pillow fights, like porno set staged pillow fights. That's what I think people think we do. And it's like, mama, when we get off that stage and we go back to the Super 8 down in Willoughby, Ohio, we surely do throw our heather gray sweatpants on and shove 3 a.m. Cane's chicken into each other's mouths. That part's kind of sexy. We do feed each other. But like,
yes,
that's what we're doing. We're peeling eyelashes off. We're putting on sweatpants. If it's with Shrimpy, we're watching SpongeBob. You know what I mean? Like we're just settling in. It is kind of a slumber party, but it's not like, it's not the fantasy,
Except that one time. Anyways, back, girl, we all have an exception, which proves the rule in math.
Yeah, it's true. If there can be an exception, there is an exception.
Well, it's hard because the road is one of those things where like money is tight. You want to break even or make this much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when a place like gives you a hotel or whatever, you really do relax and you can like almost like just chill because you're really trying to like come out ahead. Remember that time I dated that guy who had an RV, very normal, everything's fine. It was funny because like what
Pause for the truth.
Anyway.
Yeah.
You know, even when we would tour, like what was hilarious about it is like it sounds like it would be really reasonable, but RVs are expensive and you gotta put gas in, and then there's the things that gotta run the things, and you gotta empty the water, you gotta do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's your time, and then it's also your money to do that. And I'm like, oh my God, just give me a fucking Holiday Inn. Just it, I'm done. You know what I mean?
Just give me a place to crash.
And we would go into the RV after a show, and I'd do like headlining and heat feature, heat headline and night feature, and we just kind of go on the road. I don't know if you've ever peed in a freezing cold RV that just started.
That sounds awful. But
you pee and like it's so cold, and then he had these little like wet wipes, and I used one once, and it was like a wet wipe for the, you know, that's like safe for an RV toilet, and it was frozen.
Oh my God. I was really hoping you weren't going to say it was frozen.
Frozen.
Oh.
Frozen wet wipe.
No.
Frozen. And then I got a UTI. Anyways.
Frozen Wet Wipe is the name of my third album.
Yeah.
And the first song on it is going to be I Got a UTI.
Girl, that's tracks 1 through 12 in an RV. It's just
yeah, that's all tracks. So girl,
urinary tracks.
RV,
I'll be here all night. I should go.
You can see more of Brooke Curtis this Friday. So okay, girl, RVs makes me think about, you ever had some horror stories that had to do with transportation?
Oh, girl, I mean, name them. I will say the RV was one of those things that, again, that was sometimes a horror story. But here's why: it was about finding a spot to park it.
Oh yeah, because
that was the hardest part. So yeah, and security would come bug us all the time at different places, and cops. But one time we parked in this, oh my God, fabulous Indiana comedy club, little independent place, fabulous. So he wanted to like snap or jerk off or whatever. And I was like, I'm going to go on a run. And he's like, in this neighborhood, you're going to go on a run. I was like, I'm just going crazy, just sitting in a fucking van. Like, I need to do something.
Yeah, totally.
And it was one of those moments where I was like, we're not compatible. Like, you want to sit here, and I'm like, let's do something.
You don't get me.
So
yeah.
I went on a run, and like multiple people stopped their cars to ask me for money. And what was hilarious is I'm like, you're in a car and I'm running.
There is some irony in that.
I get running is a rich person sport. Like I had my little outfit and stuff, but oh my God, I was just like, so that's kind of a travel nightmare. How about you?
Yeah, I think that's probably what that was. Okay, so girl, this one just kept getting worse and worse. So it is also 2012 Windy City Burlesque Festival. And we decide to go, we're a troupe. It's a troupe act. So we decide to carpool together in the same car that we borrowed from another troupe member. This is already great. And the car, when we got it from said troupe member, they were like, hey, no big deal. Just want you to know the car's making a funny sound. Don't worry about it. So it's like, oh, okay. And again, back in the day, I was like, oh, no big deal. Funny sound. It's probably nothing. They know their car, right? So we start out on the road, and it was indeed making a funny sound. And this is a car full of femmes. So none of us know what the sound means. I now know what the sound means. Because, yeah, we were just like, oh, what's that sound? By the way, hashtag not all femmes. I'm not saying that, like, all femmes don't know car stuff, but we definitely did not, okay?
Those femmes. You're in the car did not know.
No. We were the
and also this femme doesn't know.
Yeah, we were the kind of femmes that collectively scream when one of us drops a contact lens. You know what I mean? Like, that's the level of femme we are. So there's this grinding. There's this grinding sound that happens, especially when you are pressing on the brakes. And get in the chat if you know what's happening. But I'm going to tell you right now. That was bad timing. The brake pads had ground down, and we were braking on the rotors.
Oh, shit.
The whole way there. So by the time we got to Chicago, which is 6 hours away, the sound has now gotten worse. And we were like, oh, it's not too big of a deal, right? It's fine. When we got into the city of Chicago, we would press on the brakes and the car would like slide.
Oh,
So it was like the wheels would just keep going. They're like, I know you're pressing on that brake pedal, but like we don't have anything for you. You know, like we're just gonna keep going. So every time we had to brake, we would just put our hands on the dash and just be like, take the wheel, Jesus. Like
what?
just bring us home.
City traffic?
It's city traffic. So we finally parked the car and we're like, wow, that was an experience. So we get to the apartment that we're staying at. And by the way, I don't think Jenna watches the show, but by the way, Jenna, I love you, and you know that like this story that I'm gonna tell is only in like told with love and in the best like good humor, you know?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So we get to this place. Jenna is extremely accommodating and is like, you can stay with us, no big deal. Like she checked in with us. She had a thing to go to later that night at the first night of the festival. So she was like, I got a thing to go, but you'll be totally fine. Just order some pizza. Here's the code for the TV. Like, just do you know, just like relax. The place is yours. So the four of us are there in the apartment, and we get a pizza, and we're eating the pizza. And Jenna has a cat named Titus, and Black Cat, sort of like middle-aged man of a cat, you know, pretty chill, walking around. Like just checking things out. You know, it's a small apartment, so cats like to understand the boundaries and who's there and whatever. And then Titus tries to get a piece of pizza, and one of us, not me, but someone else, is like, oh no, Titus, that's not for you. Picks up the cat, takes the cat over to Jenna's bed, places the cat down, and the cat has a psychotic break.
What?
Psychotic break. So from that, like, the cat jumped off the bed, went under the bed, and screamed at the top of its tiny lungs like a demon that had just escaped hell. Screamed. And so we're like, freeze, right? We're like frozen. We're like, that is not a sound a cat should make, ever. And so we all just kind of like sink into the couch. This is now very like animal survival responses, right?
Oh my God.
We just sink into the couch and we're like, well, what do we do now? And as soon as any one of us talks, the cat screams. And I'm talking sustained scream for 5 seconds.
What?
It was awful. So
Did you offer him a piece of pizza?
No. We didn't want to go near it in like, we thought it was going to attack us. We tried to leave, but then it was like, we were like, maybe it's not good if we leave because it's going to attack us or charge us or something. I mean, I think clearly it was telling us to get out of my space. But who knows where this came from or what was leading up to this or like, but we talked to Jen about it later and it's like, Titus has never done anything like this before. This is so uncharacteristic. So for the whole night, we were just trying to sleep on the couch, just like this. And anytime like one of us would move and it was too loud, 5-second scream.
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding. It was terrifying and miserable. So I called Monty the next day, and we had not been in a relationship for very long. And I called him, and he was like, hey, how's the festival going? And I was like, this cat kept us up all night. I was like literally shaking. I was like, and the car, the rotors, we're driving on the rotors. And he was like, wait, slow down. What is happening?
The cat is on the rotors.
It was terrible. And then, so Jenna finally came back and was like, what the hell happened? And we were like, we don't know. We're so sorry. And it took like animal psychology stuff to get this cat to calm down. And after that point, we felt so bad because the cat, like, Titus did not really trust people after that. And so I'm trying to figure out what was it? What happened? What did we do?
Was it like the picking up was the cat?
I think it was the picking up, the denial of food, the fact that the apartment was so small and so, like, you know, cats are territorial, so they have to feel like they are. I mean, you know the memes about cats are like they feel like they own the space and we're just visitors.
Right.
So I think the cat just decided in that moment that we were intruders, and was like in fight or flight mode, right? Full on fight or flight mode for like 12 hours.
That's crazy.
Ooh. Anyway, the takeaway is we survived. We took the car to a garage. We got the rotors fixed. And we went home.
Girl, that's crazy.
And it was expensive, by the way. I don't know if you've ever worn down your brake pads and then you have to replace the rotors, but it is way more expensive than replacing your brake pads. So
I mean, I am not the best at checking the check engine light, but I am better than that. It's not a very high bar, so I'm just going to say that.
You're not like driving someone else's car for 6 hours, being like, this will probably work out.
This'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, girl, speaking of travel, you know I have an early flight tomorrow, so I'm going to call the dish here. But good news, it's a flight to you, girl.
I know that's right.
I can't wait.
Just go through the airport like that. Oh!
Just a dewy ingenue.
A dewy ingenue.
We're bringing Juno, and the last time we went to the Atlanta airport, he pooped in the middle of the airport.
But he's so cute. I feel like he can get away with anything.
He's so cute. He pooped in the middle of the busiest airport in the country, and a man stopped and gave us his Hudson News plastic bag to pick up his poop. A complete stranger.
Wow.
It's exhausting.
And that is pretty privilege, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's gay rights.
And that's gay rights. All right, well.
Please, dear viewers, we will see you Friday night. Get your tables now. There's only 4 left. As of the beginning of the dish, we may be down to 3-2.
Yeah, come and see us this weekend. Come and hang out. We would love to see you. It's going to be lit. And if nothing else, we'll see you back at Tuesday, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. for the next Cover Dish.
Bye.
Bye.